Excited. I think, obviously our goal of reaching the playoffs last year we accomplished, but now, we want to be a championship contender. I think we're putting in the pieces to be able to do that, hopefully add some free agents, and you can just feel the excitement in the whole organization and in the city, our fans. So honestly, I can't wait to get back out there. I wish we had a game tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Indiana Fever finished with just 5 wins 2 seasons ago? Well, things have taken a dramatic turn since then. Led by their standout player Caitlin Clark, who pushed for the addition of star talent, the Fever's newly overhauled front office made a bold and game-changing decision.
Quick thoughts on the $80 million Fever facility and Stephanie White being like, we're going to be aggressive in free agency, and massive names who are available. And I think, this is my bold prediction, the Indiana Fever are going to be playing for the WNBA title next year. Wow. They have their cornerstone pieces under rookie contract.
In a move that sent ripples through the WNBA, the Indiana Fever have secured not 1, not 2, but 3 superstar players. What was once a rebuild has now evolved into a full-fledged basketball revolution, positioning the Fever as serious title contenders. Want to know more about the game-changing players driving this transformation and how they fit into Indiana's bigger vision? This is more than just a roster upgrade. It's a complete overhaul that's got the entire league reassessing their strategies. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Are big-name veteran pieces that the Fever have money to go get to put them in position to be playing for a WNBA title. That's my bold prediction.
Let's rewind to when the Indiana Fever were at the bottom of the WNBA standings. It wasn't long ago. Just 2 seasons back, they wrapped up the season with a mere 5 wins. It seemed like they were stuck in a never-ending slump. But then, everything changed. The Fever started making daring moves that captured the attention of the entire league.
We felt this way to begin with, that the Fever were going to be a destination because you have Caitlin Clark, you have Aaliyah Boston, and you have a really, really young team. And I think now with Steph White, who is hands down one of the best coaches in the league, and we saw that with Connecticut, even though they fell a little bit short. I think that, this is going to be...
Fever's first major move came in 2023 when they selected Aaliyah Boston with the first overall pick. An exceptional center with the potential to reshape the franchise. While her talent was undeniable, the team still faced a challenging 13-27 record. But in the very next season, they secured the first pick again and chose Caitlin Clark, the once-in-a-generation talent who quickly made waves in the WNBA. Clark's impact was immediate, averaging 19.2 points per game in her rookie season and setting 62 records along the way. Her ability to score and create plays like a seasoned pro was evident, but even a star like her needed the right support to take the team to the next level.
Are you in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position, and I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
This is where the Fever's core of Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull really made their mark. As they began to gel, the team underwent a rapid transformation. Indiana was no longer an easy target. Opponents could no longer stroll in expecting a guaranteed win. These young stars were driven, determined to prove their worth. Last season, they shocked the league by fighting their way into the playoffs with a 20-20 record, marking their first playoff appearance in nearly a decade. But for Caitlin Clark, that wasn't enough. She knew the Fever weren't just a good team. They had the potential to be truly great.
I see a lot of players wanting to go, in this offseason, a lot of players are going to want to go to the Fever.
So, what did Clark do next? She went straight to the front office, asking for top-tier free agents. And the new management team, led by President Kelly Koff and GM Amber Cox, didn't just hear her out, they took action. The Fever had 4 main goals this offseason. First, securing Kelsey Mitchell was non-negotiable. She had been the team's heart and soul, averaging 19.2 points per game last season. Second, they aimed to bring in versatile wings, capable of both scoring and defending, providing more firepower for Clark and Mitchell. Third, strengthening the forward position was crucial. Players who could defend, run the floor, and step up offensively when needed. Lastly, they sought a reliable backup guard to step in and manage the offense when Clark or Mitchell needed a breather.
Building quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core 3 like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well.
The stage is now set for a monumental shift that's poised to shake the WNBA to its core. The Fever aren't just gunning for the playoffs anymore, they're aiming for the very top, with Caitlin Clark not only setting the rookie assist record but proving she's a force as both a scorer and a playmaker. The pieces are aligning for something truly extraordinary in Indiana. So, who are the three key signings that made this possible? The Fever's front office promised Clark they'd bring in elite talent, and they delivered. Let's dive into the game-changing move that turned heads around the league. Signing Natasha Howard, a three-time champion, an all-star, and a Defensive Player of the Year. Howard is everything Indiana needed, and then some.
They'd bring in top talent. And boy, did they deliver. Let's talk about the masterstroke that sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Picture this: a three-time champion, an all-star, and a Defensive Player of the Year all rolled into one. That's exactly what Indiana got when they signed Natasha Howard.
The most improved team from the beginning of the season to the end of the season in terms of the Indiana Fever. I think the signing of Natasha Howard is huge. She fits the system beautifully. She is a terrific rim runner, and we know Caitlin Clark is one of the best get-ahead passers in the WNBA.
Some were skeptical, wondering if Howard, at 33, still had the ability to be a game-changer, but those doubters clearly hadn't been paying attention. Last season with the Dallas Wings, Howard put up impressive stats: 17.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game, shooting a blazing 45.6% from the field. That's not just good, that's elite.
And she did it while shooting a blistering 45.6% from the field. That's not just good, that's elite.
She's also outstanding in the pick and roll. She is a floor spacer, and she brings experience. The Indiana Fever made the playoffs last year for the first time since 2016, and in that first game, none of their starters had any playoff experience. Natasha Howard has over 50 games of playoff experience, three-time WNBA champion. She fits them beautifully.
But here's where things get even more thrilling. Howard isn't just a scoring machine, she's a defensive powerhouse. Remember when she earned Defensive Player of the Year honors in 2019? Well, she's still as sharp as ever. Howard is the type of player who can control the paint and still have the energy to ignite fast breaks. It's like having a Swiss Army knife on the court. She's versatile and can do it all.
When she won Defensive Player of the Year back in 2019? Well, she hasn't slowed down one bit. Howard's the kind of player who can lock down the paint and still have the energy to run the floor on fast breaks. It's like having a Swiss Army knife on the court. She can do it all.
Natasha Howard throws it right up. Oh! Anthony Maesters Kennedy! Oh! Defensive Player of the Year in the WNBA! You should just lock it up! John can't give it to him, and right there is Howard with a block. Another one rejected.
Let's not forget about her championship pedigree. Howard's got 3 WNBA titles under her belt. She knows what it takes to win when the pressure's on. That kind of experience is
And let's not forget her championship pedigree. Howard boasts 3 WNBA titles and knows exactly what it takes to win when the pressure is on. That level of experience is priceless, especially for a young team like the Fever. In fact, her playoff experience surpasses the entire Fever roster combined. You can bet she'll be a valuable mentor to Caitlin Clark, sharing all the wisdom she's gained from those championship runs. But there's more. Howard isn't just a defensive force. She can also stretch the floor with her three-point shooting. Imagine the impact when one of the league's best defenders starts knocking down threes. It'll add a whole new dimension to the Fever's offense. Picture Aaliyah Boston dominating inside, while Howard, Clark, and Hull keep defenders scrambling on the perimeter. It's a nightmare for any opposing team.